Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the end of July of 2021. As we get closer and closer to the release of the Book of Boba Fett by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, a lot of fans are beginning to get more excited about the future of Star Wars and exactly what's going to happen between, of course, many of the new projects that are about to be announced by this fall. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars material. Also, if you guys would like to go ahead and check me out at Mike01 on Twitter, you guys can go ahead and do so if you would like to. Now, we're currently in a very interesting phase because we're getting very close to the very end of The Bad Batch. We got the final episode coming up this August that's set to have a major cameo, a major character reveal, which we'll be getting into that a little bit later. However, apart from The Bad Batch, alright, the Book of Boba Fett is basically going to be a bridge between The Bad Batch and the other Star Wars TV shows like Kenobi, Andor, and Ahsoka. That's really going to bring things in the right direction for Star Wars as we know it. So, given that Jon Favreau recently has been talking a lot about the mandoverse, as the Star Wars fandom likes to call this, he's also been talking about Rosario Dawson and her role as Ahsoka and exactly what they have planned for the future of the franchise. He's been touching more on Gina Carano as Cara Dune, and a lot of things really brewing behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm. So here it is, we are now, pretty much entering August. It's going to be a very special month for The Bad Batch because the final two episodes, let's just be honest here, they are the most crucial to this series, and we're going to be learning more about the future of the franchise in the next couple of weeks. So, the thing about Favreau, what he was able to unveil about changing Star Wars in a very significant way really does give us a more vivid view of what's happening to the franchise as we know it. So now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on their new Star Wars shows, such as Star Wars Ahsoka and even the Book of Boba Fett, it's best described that currently creator Jon Favreau has been making major changes to the Star Wars brand as we speak. Now, in a recent interview with Favreau, when he was being questioned about the Book of Boba Fett, Favreau was eventually questioned about how much Star Wars Legends material is being inserted into the mandoverse and his thoughts on changing Star Wars drastically forever. Jon Favreau went on to state that he and George Lucas have exchanged many conversations about changing the tone of Star Wars for the past 8 months now, and it has been an exciting journey to say the least. Favreau goes on to state that many of the fans' beloved characters from Legends are currently being worked on to fit the current timeline that works well with Disney and the overall Disney Star Wars implementation for Star Wars overall, and that he and George and Dave are trying to keep it as familiar as possible to how Legends will come back many years ago and be very familiar in that sense. Now, Favreau also unveils that fans are in for some big surprises as to how drastic these changes to Star Wars will be, and that the decisions that we have been working on will have major impacts on all the Star Wars trilogies and even the solo films, like Rogue One and Solo: A Star Wars Story. Favreau also makes it clear that the story of Grogu and Luke Skywalker for Season 3 and future Mandalorian seasons is going to be mind-blowing and will take elements from Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy from the old Star Wars stories that Lucas had approved before Disney took over back in 2012. Now, further on top of this, when Favreau was questioned about Mara Jade, this is where things begin to really get interesting. About Mara Jade entering into the Star Wars world, Jon Favreau simply laughed and smiled, stating that just wait and see, I am sure you will be satisfied with everything we are about to do. Additionally, separate from all of this, it's noted that Karen Gillan recently had multiple conversations with Disney about when she would begin filming for her key scenes as Mara Jade in Mandalorian Season 3 and even Season 4. Now, she is best described to have a more significant role for the 4th season that will mark her down as the hero, and all rather than a villain like in Season 3. So, let me just say one thing here that's very important and crucial that I think a lot of fans need to know, is that everything that has been happening with Season 3 of The Mandalorian, they are already getting ready to begin work on principal photography. A lot of work is being done for Season 3, and then right after they wrap Season 3, they're going to begin working on Season 4. So Season 4 is going to be probably the most important of all, because that's when a lot of the characters are going to begin evolving. A lot of the beloved characters like Luke, Mara Jade, and others out there like Grand Admiral Thrawn, Ezra, they're going to really begin to evolve in Season 4 of Mando. They're also going to be involved in the Ahsoka Tano series, and this is all going to be basically baby steps to giving specific shows to characters like Ezra and Thrawn and other new characters out there. Basically what Favreau is trying to do is that he's trying to really bring back Legends and is really trying to combine it with the new and the familiar. And I think that's a very interesting way of Jon Favreau doing this, because he's really trying his best to make it fit both sides of the Star Wars fandom. Now, regardless, yes, there is a side of the Star Wars fandom that respects what Disney had done to the sequel trilogy. Now, I have my problems with the sequel trilogy. I have a lot of issues with The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I've stated this multiple times before in the past, and for those that enjoy the sequel movies, that's fine and all. I think that they just have a lot of problems, and they really didn't have a sense of direction of what they were going through with. So now that we're fully invested, alright, in what's going on with Jon and Dave, these are the two creators that are working very close with George Lucas to make sure that Star Wars can get back on track, that they can really bring it to the same exact plateau that Marvel had a couple of years ago. And the reason why I say a couple of years ago is I just feel that Marvel's taking a little bit of a step down currently with what's been happening, you know, with Black Widow. I felt that that movie was just to me. I didn't really think it was all that great, but that's just my opinion. I feel that some of the TV show choices for Marvel are just okay, you know, for the future, of course. So we'll have to wait and see exactly, you know, what happens between those two franchises and how they really compare. As far as Favreau is concerned, though, when he's talking about Mara Jade, he really avoided the question. He really tried his best to not really answer that question about Mara Jade and Karen Gillan as the role. Now, Mara Jade is going to be portrayed by Karen Gillan. There's going to be some form of major announcement this fall, and they're going to begin work on that character for Season 3 by this fall. She's not going to have a ton of scenes in Season 3. She will be in there, but Season 4 is really going to be the major game player of exactly how Mara Jade is going to be portrayed in this new Star Wars universe by Disney and Lucasfilm. The biggest thing that I like about Season 3 and 4 is that Kathleen Kennedy has zero involvement. Absolute no involvement on these two seasons. She had a small, you know, role in the beginning of Season 2 before she actually had lost her creative freedom on the overall Star Wars franchise. But now, as we go into, of course, the new TV shows, Kathleen Kennedy is still only working on the Acolyte TV series strictly, and that is it. So the Acolyte TV series has also been running into a lot of problems. We're also going to be touching on that later, so stay tuned for that. I would like to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Nights in the